When we think about strength, we usually picture something loud, right? A powerful force. But what if the most unbreakable kind of strength is actually quiet? Today, that's exactly what we're diving into through the incredible story of Saint Agatha.
Let's start with this simple but really profound truth. Strength is not always loud. So often we celebrate the loudest voice in the room, the most dominant personality. But this story, well, it completely flips that idea on its head, suggesting that real strength might just be found in the stillness.
And that right there, that just nails it. It's not the strength of a raging storm, it's the strength of a mountain. A quiet, firm resolve that's just unshakable. It holds its ground without ever having to make a sound.
So who's going to teach us about this kind of deep, silent strength? Well, our lesson comes from the life of a young, gentle, and faithful woman, Saint Agatha. Her story is the perfect example of this whole idea.
I mean, just look at the words used to describe her. Young, gentle, faithful. These aren't exactly the words you'd use for a superhero, are they? They almost suggest vulnerability. And honestly, that's the whole point. Her story is all about redefining what strength even means.
Every one of us gets to a crossroads in life, right? That one moment, that single decision that pretty much defines everything that comes after. For Agatha, that moment came down to a really stark choice. Was she going to follow the path of faith or the path of fear?
And this just lays it out so clearly. You've got the path of fear over here, which, let's be honest, often promises comfort, the easy way out. But then there's the path of faith. It's way more challenging, for sure, but it leads to truth. The choice was all hers.
Okay, so she made her choice. But, making a decision and then actually living with the consequences, those are two very different things. This next part of her story is about what happens when that faith gets put to the ultimate test, through real suffering.
So her journey starts with a challenge we can probably all relate to. Is that moment when things seem fine, but you can feel a storm brewing just over the horizon. This is that moment, when life first started to test her.
And as that storm rolled in, her response was just rock solid. She did not give up. And this wasn't just about passively enduring it. It was an active, conscious choice not to let the pressure put out her light. And then, things got even tougher. This wasn't some abstract challenge anymore. When suffering came, we're talking about real, personal, physical pain entering the picture.
But here's the incredible part. Even then, when she was surrounded by pain, she did not lose hope. This is that silent, firm strength in action, that internal light that the darkness just couldn't touch.
It all boils down to this one powerful idea. Her body was weak, but her faith was unbreakable. I mean, that's the heart of the story right there, isn't it? The outside world could hurt her, yes, but it couldn't get to the core of who she was and what she believed. But hey, this isn't just some story from long ago. It leaves behind this powerful legacy of courage. And inside that legacy, there's a timeless lesson that speaks directly to us, right here, right now, with the challenges we're facing in our own lives. So, what is this timeless lesson? Well, it's not some complicated idea you need a degree to understand. Nope, it's a simple truth, a core lesson from her life that we can take and apply directly to ours. So it really breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, stand for what is right. That could mean just holding on to what's true when it's so much easier to just go with the flow. Second, trust in every struggle. It's about finding purpose even when you're facing burnout or what feels like an impossible situation. And finally, and this might be the hardest one, never, ever let fear decide your future. Don't let the shadows tell you where you're going to walk. And that all leads us to this one last, powerful thought that just wraps it all up so well. Pain may pass, but courage lasts forever. The tough times we go through, they're temporary. But the character, the person we become by facing them with courage, that becomes a permanent part of us. So in the end, St. Agatha's lesson is really a challenge to all of us, to choose faith over fear, to find our strength not in being the loudest, but in the quiet conviction of our hearts. Be strong and stay faithful.